Manchester United are monitoring young Belgian goalkeeper Senna Lamens after seeing both of their senior shot-stoppers make high-profile errors in recent weeks. United's season continues to go through a turbulent spell under new boss Ruben Amorim, and while the entire team have been guilty of under-par performances, goalkeepers Andrea Onana and Altay Bayındır have both made mistakes. The duo each allowed Tottenham and Wolves to score directly from a corner in the last few games, while Onana also came under fire earlier this month for making gaffes against Nottingham Forest and Victoria Plzen. Now United are hoping to remedy the situation by adding more competition in between the sticks, according to the Telegraph, with a move for highly rated Lamens. The Royal Antwerp star has already caught attention from Bundesliga clubs such as Borussia Dortmund, the report claims, and United have sent scouts to watch the 22-year-old to ensure they get ahead of the curb. It says that while a move in January is not a priority, there could be movement in the summer, especially if Bayındır chooses to go elsewhere in search of first-team opportunities. Onana joined United for £47 million from Inter last summer, but has been highly scrutinised for a string of errors. The former Ajax keeper has made a total of 76 appearances for the Red Devils. The report goes on to say that United will be limited with signings in January transfer window as they look to comply with financial fair play regulations. There could be a number of outgoings, however, with Juventus reportedly eyeing up a move for Joshua Zirkzee amid his difficult start to life at Old Trafford since his big money switch from Bologna in the summer. Another United player who is being strongly linked with an exit is Marcus Rashford, who gave a bombshell interview revealing he wants to leave the club following a difficult season, and has been left out of the last 4 matchday squads. However, despite interest from Juventus in Zirkzee, it's also reported that they are not interested in pursuing a move for Rashford, who could be forced to play outside of Europe amid rumours he is being chased by Saudi clubs. Bruno Fernandes may be Manchester United's most influential player, but he endured another evening to forget on Boxing Day. Not for the first time this season, the Portugal international was given his marching orders to leave his teammates in the lurch. United went on to lose 2-0 to Wolves, and now face the prospect of having to do without their captain when they host Newcastle on Monday night, in a match they could very much do with winning. While one of Fernandes' red cards was later overturned, he's now seen red 3 times this season. And that sparked a fresh debate over whether or not the midfielder, as supremely talented as he is a suitable choice to wear the armband for United. We asked the Mirror football team whether they think Fernandes should keep the captaincy, and if not, who Ruben Amorim should give the armband to Samuel Mead Bruno Fernandes. The perception isn't quite aligned with the reality anymore. The first 18 months were impressive, and that has somewhat carried him since. It's easy to forget that Fernandes came into a United side that were, it felt, at rock bottom. Any player with an ounce of personality and talent would have made an impact, as he did. Nowadays, though, he is not having anywhere near the same influence. His attitude and antics on the pitch are almost toxic, and only those with a misconstrued idea of what a desire to win is would claim what he does is, in some way, driving standards. Roy Keane really did drive standards in Manchester once upon a time, and if he is saying the captaincy needs to be taken away from him, that probably says it all. His red card was born out of frustration, and whilst it is his 3rd this year, can happen. Keane wasn't immune to a red card or 2, but the 2 are not cut from the same cloth. Ben Husband. The first part of this question is simple. Fernandes shouldn't be United's captain. Frankly, he never should have been in the first place. When the chips are down, he is constantly found wanting and moaning. And while he's undoubtedly United's best player, he doesn't ever appear like their best leader. The second part of this question is the really tricky one, however. Who is a leader in this squad? They are so devoid of personality and character that giving anyone the armband is difficult. In reality, the only real leader United have is Harry Maguire. He took the decision from Erik Ten Hag to remove the captaincy in his stride, and for all of his faults, remains their best defender, particularly in the shape Amorim wants to deploy. Much of the next few months will be Amorim working his way through the litany of mistakes his predecessor made. Reverting Ten Hag's decision on the club captain should probably be the easiest. Mike Walters United should have taken the armband off Fernandes after that 7-0 shelling at Anfield. He is a fine, progressive player who prefers a forward pass to the shrinking violet sideways or backwards mantra, but as a leader of men, I wouldn't follow him into the chip shop, let alone the trenches. This is your captain sinking. 3 red cards in one season is too many for anyone, let alone the leader of a global institution like Manchester United. The problem for Ruben Amorim is finding viable alternatives as captain, because there are few players in that squad who are guaranteed a place in the starting 11. Maybe Erik Ten Hag should not have taken the job away from Harry Maguire in the first place. Matthew Cooper, Bruno Fernandes, has always divided opinion as Manchester United captain. But even if Ruben Amorim decides he no longer wants him, the issue then becomes the sheer lack of alternatives. Aside from Fernandes, only Diogo Dalot, Noussair Mazraoui, Amad Diallo and Manuel Ugarte have featured in all 10 of Amorim's games in charge so far, and none of them feel like realistic captaincy candidates right now. As a result, it feels like Amorim may as well stick with Fernandes for the time being. But the lack of real leadership in his squad is something he certainly needs to address. And when he does have some genuine candidates to replace Fernandes, it would not be a surprise to see Amorim strip him of the captaincy. He did not seem happy at all after Fernandes' latest red card, and United could clearly do with an inspirational captain to lead by example. Jacob leaks, Bruno Fernandes is an undoubtedly quality footballer, but his time as captain should be cut short. His attitude too often leaves much to be desired, and his tendency to throw his toys out of the pram is something which spreads throughout the team. 3 red cards before the end of the year is also unacceptable. With Ruben Amorim needing to lay down the law to his ill-disciplined and struggling team, stripping Fernandes of the captaincy should be a move he makes soon. In terms of who steps up, there are few clear candidates. But once he returns from illness, Matthijs de Ligt would be my pick. Manchester United defender Harry Maguire felt Wolves offered nothing outside of their 2 goals following Boxing Day's 2-0 defeat at Molineux. United, who had Bruno Fernandes sent off just after half-time for a second bookable offence, were condemned to a 3rd straight defeat in the Black Country. Matheus Cunha opened the scoring for the home side before substitute Hwang Hee-chan sealed the points with virtually the last kick of the game, converting from Cunha's square pass. United offered little in the way of an attacking threat over the course of the 90 minutes, though the first half was fairly even. However, in Maguire's opinion, the red card altered the course of the game, despite not being convinced Wolves fully capitalised on their numerical advantage. "I felt going into the second half we needed to up it a little bit," Maguire told Amazon Prime. "The red card has changed the game. It's hard enough playing with 11 men in the Premier League, so when you go down to 10, it is tough. If we are being honest, we gave them nothing, they had nothing, they created nothing. When it was 11 versus 10, all it was a corner and the last kick of the game. It is a tough one to take, but we have got to stick together." Cunha's opener was another example of United's troubles with set pieces. It has been a major problem in recent weeks, and they are yet to address it. When it keeps happening, you can't really put it down to luck, but it is tough to take that we have conceded twice from a corner, Maguire added. "I know the Tottenham one is a foul, it's quite clear to see, but I haven't seen this one back. Sometimes at set plays you have got to hold your hands up and say you cannot do much about it, but then there are others where you have got to look at yourselves and improve. The Bournemouth one was tough. It was a great header and a great ball. Tonight, it was disappointing to go down to 10 men, not really give them anything and look solid in the second half. To concede again, especially the first goal of the game, set plays are so important in football matches. They decide games. A lot of games, when they are tight 50-50, they decide them with the first goal, and the first goal has been a set play far too many times against us. It is disappointing." Manchester United head coach Ruben Amorim has admitted that he thinks he is edging closer towards settling on a preferred starting Eningtis after making 2 changes for Boxing Day's clash with Wolves at Molineux. Rotation has been a fixture of Amorim's opening weeks as United head coach, regularly shuffling his pack to combat the club's busy fixture schedule. However, he has made just 2 alterations for the trip to Wolves, bringing Lenny Yoro and Rasmus Højlund into the starting 11 in place of Tyrell Malacia, who has been left out of the matchday squad, and Joshua Zirkzee. A reduction in the number of changes suggests the Portuguese chief is edging closer to settling on his strongest starting lineup, and that is a theory he agrees with, even though he has highlighted the importance of everyone in the squad. Speaking to MUTV ahead of kickoff, Amorim, when asked if he was close to his strongest starting X, said, "I think so, but I don't like to use the expression, the strongest XI, because we count every player. But we try to build some connections between the players by trying to use the same players sometimes, because we have 3 days between games, and that is a big difference. At the moment, with more time, we can change less, so that is the focus. Also, our focus is to maintain our clear identity. The third game of the last week versus Bournemouth was tough on us and our fans, so we have to be better in set pieces. We had a lot of chances to score, and we have to be more clinical. We have to improve our performance. Ruben Amorim conceded Manchester United have to survive amid the extraordinary threat of a first relegation in 51 years after an 8th league defeat of the season at Wolves. Wolves had won only 2 league games all season before new coach Vitor Pereira was appointed last week, and the Portuguese has guided the 18th place side to back-to-back wins. Wolves are now only 7 points behind United. United have slumped to 14th in the table, 4 places above the relegation zone, at nearly the halfway stage of the league campaign. Amorim admitted the team have to survive amid a slump of 4 defeats in 5 league fixtures. In this moment, we just have to survive and to win sometimes. Amorim said at the mention of whether he is worried about teams below United. To work on the team, we already knew it. I start this job and start with the team. The new idea of no time to train. A lot of games, tough games. We already knew it. It's a long journey. Like I said in the first day, we have to continue and we have to fight these bad moments because this is part of football. No, Amorim replied when the remoteness of qualifying for a European competition was raised. We have to work on a lot of things in our club inside the pitch, outside the pitch, so let's focus on each game, each time, and use every minute of training to improve the team. A lot of things are missing, time to work, so we also have to win games, to sell the idea to the players, but if not, it's really hard. Wolves is a completely different situation. The United hierarchy have demonstrated their ruthlessness this season with the sackings of former manager Erik ten Hag and inaugural sporting director Dan Ashworth. Amorim has become the first United manager to lose 5 of his first 10 matches in charge since Walter Krikmer in 1932. When asked how long it would take to turn it around at United, Amorim replied, "I have no idea. No idea. Instead of me trying to understand how much time it will take, just day by day, improving, trying to see the videos and use every minute of training and try to win some points because it's really important in this moment."